We're going to bring in Adam Boehler right now. He helped negotiate the Abrams Accords and negotiated with the Taliban on behalf of the Trump administration and is the former CEO of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. So, Adam, this is a recipe with a dash of hope and a heaping amount of distrust. As this hostage release is currently unfolding, we heard both Trey Yingst and Alex Hogan report that they have not released another list yet. So what's likely taking place behind the scenes right now?
I think you're having the Qataris actively negotiating back and forth. We spent a lot of time with the Qataris directly with both the Emir and the individual that was foreign minister and is now prime minister, Sheikh Mohammed. They're probably shuttling back and forth quite a bit. They have a really difficult task because Hamas is a terrorist organization and they're trying to use leverage. But it is what has brought us to where today is set up, where we've released hostages. So they've had some diplomatic success.
Adam, let me dive in here. I want to ask about the deal as we understand it, and the way it's been constructed. Hamas, as Arthel reported, is to release 50 women and children, including 3 Americans. In exchange, Israel is supposed to release about 150 Palestinian women and children. I'm just curious, does it behoove Hamas to release all 10 American citizens, or is there a concern that they may be holding them back until they get more concessions?
Think about it this way. Hamas is going to use everything they can to have leverage. So this deal is all about leverage. The reason that we're in this situation is because Israel was strong in the first place. So when you think about Hamas holding back Americans, they're holding back Americans so they have leverage over the United States, just like they're doing this in wave over leverage. The other thing I'd note about the Hamas deal, and this gives you a view into Hamas and how they think, they stopped Israelis from flying drones. Why? That's because they want, during this time, these 4 days, to regroup in the south. And so the reason they're doing all of this is for leverage. Now, it's good we've got hostages coming back. I agree with it. I'm happy about it. But that's why you don't see Americans out there today. It's leverage over the United States.
Adam, I want to read a quote from the Wall Street Journal editorial on the Israel-Hamas hostage deal. It says, quote, even as Israelis rejoice for the women and children who will return home, they know Hamas is rejoicing too. Its war crimes have been rewarded. So I ask you, was there any other way out of this?
I think, look, and just to bolt on to what you said, as the prisoners are being released right now, the Palestinian prisoners are being released, you have people chanting Hamas, Hamas, Hamas. And the right way out, so there's 2 things that we need to not forget. We've got more than 200 other hostages, and Israel's goal is to eradicate Hamas. There's no other answer here. And so what I think we're going to need to recognize is in a few days, they're going to need to resume hostilities, and they're going to need to go down south. So that's the right way to push and eventually eradicate Hamas here. It's the only way. I do think the positive thing here is you do see the beginnings of who's going to negotiate an eventual solution in Qatar and Egypt. So diplomatic channels are open. And so as days go past, as weeks go past here, those are the players that you're going to see. They're going to try to eventually end this. But I don't think it ends without Hamas out of the Gaza Strip.
Fair to say a healthy amount of skepticism over the next 4 days, Adam?
I think there's actually aligned interests here. I think if Hamas pulls out, they're going to get a lot of international community response. I think it's going to hurt Israel these next 4 days. They're going to do it because they want the hostages back. But I think you're going to see Hamas play around psychologically quite a bit. I'm not surprised the list didn't come over. They're going to wait. They're going to drag. There's going to be bumps because it's psychological warfare. And Hamas is going to use every piece of leverage they can because that's what they do. They're a terrorist organization, and they're very good at rallying international media support. And that's the biggest issue for Israel right now. Over these next few days, international media is going to push, the community is going to push for them to not resume, and they can't not do that. That's what Hamas is planning on and why they're doing this in the first place.
Boy, this is a long road ahead indeed here. Adam Boehler, thank you very much for your analysis on this.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.